What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Majestic Madness 15, and we're back at it again with another video, the first video of the year, and it just felt appropriate that our first video be about the Nintendo Switch 2. If you did not know, Nintendo did a reveal trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2 this week, and I have some thoughts. Now, I want to say that nothing is accurate. Everything I say is up to speculation because there have been a lot of leaks about the Switch 2, which is probably why that reveal felt so much like a here, geez, leave us alone, than an actual reveal, an actual full out presentation of their Switch, because we didn't get anything. I mean, we got what it looks like. We got some speculation on the Joy-Cons being magnetic because that's how it looks like they're connecting. There are some connectors, and I'm assuming they're magnetic. We did get to see that the screen is going to be bigger, but we don't have any specs. We don't have any data. We don't have any price. We don't have any timeline of when it's actually released. All we have is what it looks like and a date for a Nintendo Direct that'll be April 2nd of 2025. Now, there have been a lot of leaks, so I understand why Nintendo released this reveal trailer. At a certain point, it was just overwhelming with how many leaks were going on, and they needed to say something. And this is where I think people are divided, and again, everything I say is speculation. Everything I say is based off of some of the leaks that I've seen online and not based off of anything that Nintendo has come out with. So everything is subject to change. Everything is subject to be not true. Everything is subject to be right true. My opinion is subject to change as I actually get this information. But off of looks alone, I will say I do like how the Switch 2 looks. I like the bigger screen, but at the same time, can we talk about those bezels? Because why do we still have thick bezels on this screen? Nintendo, use that screen real estate. Stretch that screen out. We don't need them thick bezels. Do you need them thick bezels? What are those bezels for? Please let me know. But I think as far as the design goes, I actually like it. I like the larger screen. It'll be interesting to actually see in hand, because we have the little photos disclaimer that talks about the Nintendo Switch games, but I'd be really interested to actually see in a real person's hand, side by side, how much bigger is the Switch 2 gonna be? How powerful is the dock gonna be? I heard that the display might be 4K, but it's not gonna be OLED. I heard that the internals are going to be comparable to a PlayStation 4 Pro, and even though a PlayStation 4 Pro it's a console that works very well, don't get me wrong, no shade to the Pro, but those internals in 2025, what are we doing? Especially if they are raising the price to be between, I've heard, $400, I've heard $500. That kind of matters. Your internals, how you are upgrading your consoles and your internals and your specs, all of that matters, especially when we're talking about the price. Because if we're going to be shelling out more money, but we're still not going to have the processing power that I would at least want it to be comparable to other consoles in that price range. So I would want it to be somewhat comparable to an Xbox or a PlayStation. Because granted, I fully understand that Switch games are, actual Nintendo games are optimized very well. They're beautifully made for their consoles. But some of these other games are not. And the hard part is some of these other games be going on sale, and when they go on sale and they're not well optimized, it's not a great experience for the players. As somebody who played Little Nightmares on their Switch, the first one, I learned my lesson very quickly and did not buy the second one for the Switch, but I played the first Little Nightmares on my Twitch channel on my Switch, and those load times in between deaths, horrendous. And let me just be honest with you and say I died a lot. There was a lot of sitting and looking at black screens during those gameplays. So I would hope that if we're going to be, upping the price, I would just hope that we're getting better internals, but also screen quality comparable to what we already have. At least give us an OLED. But, like I said, nothing is set in stone. We have actually no information from Nintendo regarding what their internals are, what their specs are of the Switch 2. All we have is what it looks like. Now, the other thing that I saw that they announced, that some Switch 1 games were not going to be compatible. Some Switch 1 games were not going to be either fully optimized or fully compatible. And my first thought was, is this a ploy? Is this a money-making ploy to try to get the money from us and make us buy certain Switch games for the Switch 2, or make us upgrade so that we can play these games? That's what I initially thought. But then as I kind of talked to some other people, I remembered that we do have a series of games that rely on the Joy-Con system. They rely on the slide and click Joy-Con system, correct? We have the Nintendo Labos, and we have the Ring Fit, which I have, and it's funny that I completely forgot about that. But we have certain games that actually rely on you sliding a Joy-Con and clicking it into a device for it to register into the Switch. And that is not how the Joy-Cons are going to be working going forward. They're going to click. So there's no way, unless they come out with like another Ring Fit ring, there's really no way for you to be able to use that mechanic, use that ring to play that game. So it kind of makes sense that there are going to be some games that are just not going to be fully compatible with the Switch 2. Now, if they make Joy-Cons wirelessly compatible with the Switch 2, then maybe that is something that can continue to transfer over. But it actually does kind of make sense that there are going to be some games that just aren't compatible because they rely on the slide and click Joy-Con mechanic. Now, I have a Switch. I have varying moments of when I actually play my Switch, but I love it. I do have the Splatoon 3 special edition Switch because I love playing Splatoon. Splatoon is one of my favorite Nintendo games, and I enjoy it, but I will say it's not typically my go-to console of choice just because the quality isn't, I don't want to say that the quality isn't that great, but the quality just isn't on par with playing something on my Xbox. And I solely play exclusives. I solely play Pokemon. I occasionally play Mario. I love playing Mario Party, even though the crash outs do be real. But I predominantly play Nintendo exclusives on my Switch, and I play everything else everywhere else, especially after that little nightmare debacle. So I am kind of excited to see what Nintendo has in store, but I am a little skeptical because of the information I've heard from the leaks. I think the big thing that Nintendo is going to have to wrestle with, and I could be wrong, y'all can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think the big thing that they're going to have to wrestle with is how are they going to convince people to upgrade? Because a larger screen is beautiful, but a $400 to $500 price point is drastic, you know? A lot of people have Switches now. And how are we going to convince people that already have a Switch, have an OLED, have maybe a Switch Lite, but how are we going to convince people that, hey, you should definitely upgrade your Switch to this one? Because I know I'm not trading in my Switch. I can't. Look at this. This is beautiful. This Switch cannot be traded in for a new one. So if I were to get a Switch 2, I'm going to have to completely purchase it outright. I'm not normally a stranger to trading in technology. I don't have a problem trading something in to get a discount to get a new one, but this is, I would love to say a one of a kind, but no, it's just mainly a special edition, and I wouldn't want to trade this in. So how are you going to convince people to buy this new Switch and not let it just be Mario Kart 9? because some of us are not good at drifting, and some of those people are me. Some of those people are me. Now, I did notice that they have 24 tracks on the little snippet of Mario Kart, but is that going to be enough for me? Is that going to be enough? So yeah, I'm excited to see what they actually have in store. Sadly, we do just have to wait. We have to wait until April 2nd to see any other information. And I hope to some extent that some of the leaks are wrong. I hope that we can get, for the price point that they're asking for, I really hope that we can get better internals. But on console alone, on image alone, on what we have been shown, I do like how it looks. I think it looks nice. I think that the magnetic use of the Joy-Cons could be useful. I think I heard that them raising the Joy-Con sticks a little bit higher and having that knob underneath is actually supposed to help with stick drift. That's never really been an issue of mine, but I go through varying times of either playing it handheld or playing it docked. It really just kind of matters. I've never had an issue with stick drift, but I also have a Pro controller. Also, all our accessories going to be transferable. Do I have to get a new Pro controller? Because when I tell you the Pro controller changed my life, I was very pro Joy-Cons, very pro Joy-Con controller. I was like, what do I need a Pro controller for? And then I bought a Pro controller, and it changes your life. And you need a Pro controller if you're playing Splatoon, because playing Splatoon on Joy-Cons feels wrong. It just doesn't feel right. But I'm excited to see what we have in store. I will definitely be doing some coverage of the direct. I probably will be doing it with one of my content creator friends, Rena Mark. So please, if you want to see any more content on the Switch 2, I might even start covering some leaks, because I feel like more leaks are going to start coming out and more data is going to come out, and we need to talk about it, because how are we going to determine if we're going to get this console? I still am not sold on getting this day one. That's just me being honest. That's, even though I saw it and I think it's beautiful, I am not sold on the internals. I'm not sold on the data that I have. And Mario Kart is not my go-to game. I feel like the Switch was so revolutionary. I've been telling this story a lot lately, but I remember when I got a Switch. I remember when the Switches came out. I remember that feeling of, I have to have this. This is a one of a kind piece of technology. What do you mean it's handheld and I can play it at home? I can dock it to a TV and I can play it anywhere I go. What do you mean? And I remember working and missing out on actually being able to like go to the store and get it the day that it came out. And one of my coworkers could not grab one for me because they were only letting people buy one at a time. And I was in Target. I wasn't even in Target for a Switch. I wasn't even in Target for a Switch. And I was in just kind of like an off, like random Target, getting like an air mattress. And I could hear the salespeople talking to somebody because somebody was buying a Switch and they only had 3. When I tell you, I gave that it was a 1-2 thought. I gave it a first thought, I gave it a second thought, and then I was over there like, no. I need one of those 2 Switches left. Didn't even care that it was the black Joy-Con version, even though I wanted the red and the blue. Didn't even care. I was like, we have to get the Switch that we can get, and this is the Switch that we can get. And right now, the Switch 2 just is not giving me that. It's not giving me drop everything and buy this right now. But I know that it's giving other people that. And for those people, I'm excited for you. So I'm going to keep looking into coverage and waiting for this direct on April 2nd. Like I said earlier, Nintendo very much gave us like a here, now leave us alone. Stop dropping our information. Leave us alone. We're making it. Shush. We'll see you on April 2nd. That's how I interpreted that reveal trailer. But yeah, we'll just have to wait. If you want to see any more coverage on the Switch 2, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video. If you're excited for the Switch 2, please let me know. If you have heard any leaks that you thought might either sway me to getting or sway me to not, please leave your information in the comments down below. I'm still in my research phase. So, yeah, I want to know what's out there. And then we will just reconvene when the official announcement is done. But I will catch you guys at the next one.